You were out on Saturday night with your friend Eddie Justice, and you decided to go to Pulse.
Yeah, it was Latino night, and it was my best friend's Eddie. That was his night to go out because he was like, hey, let's go to Latino night. Let's have fun. Let's have some drinks. It was three of us, and we all were the three amigos. It was like either SWV or Destiny's Child is what you can almost call it. We decided to go. And we waited late to go, actually, because we were always the kind of social butterflies to be known as. They say save the best for last. Sorry to say that, but I wish that I could have said that. I could have stayed home and been last at home. And I had my friends, laying on the bathroom floor. Sorry, I'm getting choked up.
You went to the club, you got there just after 2 o'clock in the morning. What happened?
We hadn't even been there 20 minutes, Scott. We probably got to the club like at 1:49. Me and my other friend, Eddie, not Eddie Justice, but it's one of our other friends' name is Eddie too. Me and him got there, it was like 1:49. Eddie Justice called my phone and was like, hey, I'm outside, come get the hat. Because I had it on a different hat, but I was like, bring me one of your hats because I don't have hats at my house because you got them all. And he was like, okay, I'm coming. And he said, I'm outside. And I went outside and we walked down the street on the same side as Post to his car. And we went to his car and we changed hats. And he was like, you look good in this one, you look really nice. And we did our normal, not thinking that someone was gonna come in and shoot. And we went back in the club and we were standing at the bar and we were ordering a drink. We never even got that drink because the first Snapchat that I made was at 2:02 and it was just Eddie just playing around. And the next one was all three of us together and we were dancing. Then there was a shot fired. Went from shot firing to my phone falling to us on the floor looking at each other in total shock, like this is happening for real. This can't be happening. It had to be the music. But then when you hear the ringing of someone shooting and it's next, and you don't even know if it's next to you. Where is it coming from? Are they coming over here? Is it over? Is it really true? And the shots just continue to go on. And we were in front of the bar and we were all just looking at each other in total shock. I remember I was like, my phone dropped and I gotta go get my phone. And they were like, no, don't go get it. And I was like, but it's right there. And I crawled over and got it and got closer to them. Then it stopped. And it began again, then the lights went off. Then it was complete silence. Complete silence. You could hear a pin drop, you could hear the bullets drop. I even heard the clip fall on the floor and for him to just reload again. And then the rings of shots just keep going and people are running and yelling. We ran into the women's bathroom, me and all three of my friends. My other friend, when I said, I can't stay in here, this just says death, he ran into the other men's bathroom because everyone was going hectic. As me and Bryson, and well, Eddie Justice was getting ready to go out of the women's bathroom, he looked at me and the image in his face, I will never forget, Scott, will haunt me for the rest of my life and what my friend asked me to do. He looked at me and it just said, take care of me. Please don't leave me. If anybody knew Eddie, they knew me. It was like hand in hand. If you see me, you see him. You knew I was going to take care of him. You knew if you said something bad about him, I was going to be the one that was going to take up for him because he was more than just a friend. He was like a brother. He was somebody I called every day. Someone that if I needed them, they were going to come. They were going to stop whatever. The person that would put a smile on my face, the person that told me that you're going to make it, you're going to be big. People don't know you now, but you're going to be somebody. We're going to be somebody. If he was everything. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to let go. We're going to get out of here. The hallway where we were trying to enter to get out, to get freedom, is only the size of where me and you are in the length and width of it. So you can only imagine 95 people trying to get in this small area as the width of me and you. With that going on and trying to enter out of that door, I think that's where me and my friend lost touch at. As I'm going through that door, gunshots and the lights on in that hallway is different from the club. So I don't know if someone hit the switch or did he knock it all out with shooting, because I can't say.
But it's dark.
It's dark. And if you watched the news and you seen where his car was and you seen the blue tint over it, there's a gate right there. We were in that hallway. People were hiding behind his car because he was shooting on the patio. As I'm running out of that same hallway, and I look behind me to try to see if my friend is coming behind me because he's seen me going. Well, I'm figuring he's seen this is where we need to go because this is where I let you. And he wasn't behind me, but as I'm looking behind me and still moving, a girl gets shot right behind me and she falls on the floor and people trims over her like she's nothing because they're so in a panic attack. And we're at a standstill at this time because it's dark and the gate is black and you can't really see where the latch is to open it. Shots are still being fired. People are running out screaming, bleeding. I ran across the street to the fire department, then to the 7-Eleven, and I made a Snapchat and I was just like, if you guys are okay, please just snap me back because the police is here. I don't know where my friends are. And not to know the people you were just with like 5 minutes before that you were hugging and talked about lifetimes, talked about good times, talked about bad times, you know. And to be totally honest with you, Scott, is like just last week, me and my best friend was having a conversation because we had lost another friend that was really close to us. And it wasn't through tragical death. She just went to sleep and never woke up. But we were having, at that moment, it was okay to talk about that and be kiki and, you know. We talked about death and I said, I'm gonna die first and you're gonna bury me and you better make sure I look good and I wanna be in white. And he was just like, well, if I die, you know, I wanna be famous and you make sure you keep it going and you make sure I'm done and you do my makeup and just the life and make sure I look the same. The heart of it all is that knowing that my friend lay in a bathroom on the floor, to know that he laid there and text people for help. The last thing my friend texted me was, please help me. Help me. I've been shot and I'm going into shock. Please help me. When you can't help someone, when you know you want to help them, but you can't help them, when you know you always help them, you always were there, they always was there for you. So to hear, help me, you can't help, you're trying to keep calm so you can keep them calm because they told you they're in shock. It's easy said than done. In the back of my head, I fought me because I'm supposed to be the bigger brother to protect him like I've always had. But why I'm here talking to you, my whole reason behind this message is I want you to know, and I want America to know, that my friend died not in vain. He died for a purpose. He died for a purpose for me to speak on his behalf, to speak on all of those people that died and got in tragic. That it wasn't just gay. It wasn't a gay hate crime. This was hate on people. Scott, if I cut you, you'll bleed red. If I died in that club tonight in my obituary, it wouldn't say Demetrice Naulings, my gay son. It would say Demetrice Naulings, my son. This was a hate crime on people, not just gay people. It was people as a whole of my community. I'm gonna say we've always wanted to be accepted. We were never a disease or abomination. We are human. We wanted to be accepted. We were in our safe comfort zone. This was somewhere we could be us. We could be you. We could be famous. We could be on TV. We could do anything when you go there because there's no judgment when you enter in somewhere you're safe at. That's like your home. How you go home at night, and I don't know if you have kids or not, but when you go home, you make sure you tell them that you love them. Because God, I wouldn't hope that never happens to you, that you have to get that phone call from their friend to tell you that they don't know where your son is. And to hear his mother say, tell me he okay, because if he's with you, he gotta be okay.
It was a crime against humanity.
It was a bloodbath. It was the boogeyman in real life. And why I compare it as the boogeyman is because when you don't know who it is and who's shooting and how many people it is and where is it coming from, it's like he's underneath the bed or he's in the closet and you're waiting for the light to be turned on to say, oh, it's okay. I'm here to comfort you.
Did you see the gunman?
Never seen him.
You just heard the shots?
Just heard the shots, seen the bodies.
In that moment when the shots were going off and they weren't going to stop, what were you seeing in the club? What were you hearing in the club?
Screaming, help. Is this real? It's unbelievable. I still feel like I'm dreaming. Even now talking to you, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be talking to you. This is not supposed to happen here. This was supposed to be a fun night.
The lights went out throughout the club at some point?
Yeah.
So it's dark in there and he's still shooting?
You can still hear it shooting. Bullets coming through the wall, glass being broken. People are stumbling over people. It's in a room where you don't know where it's coming from. And when the backup lights come back, you don't get to see that much. But what you do see, you're still afraid because you don't know who's shooting. Because you know it can't be you still want to believe that this is not happening. Even when you're hearing it and you're living in it, everyone is looking at you. This is not happening. Is this really happening? Are we really going through this? This can't be happening to us.
Did you hear him say anything?
Nothing. I think if he would have said something, then it would have been different. This is how you know that this person was just coming to kill. Because I think if it was just a hate crime on gays, he would have said you faggots or made some racial marks or anything. Or if it was a hate crime on Spanish people, why didn't he say something, you know? But he said nothing. And to reload in an open room on someone and you know, you can hear it. Literally it was like, I'm a more of a imagined person. Like you can speak on, and like if you were talking to me and telling me a story, I could see it in my head. So just hearing it and hearing the fire stop, and it didn't seem like it was that long. It was just ta ta ta. Then you hear the clip fall, and then you hear it like it's a movie again, and then continue to go on. And then to know that he came in the bathroom with my best friend, and he was on the phone with his mom, like texting his mom, he's in here. And my other friend was in the men's bathroom, and he said he came in there and he just started shooting people. And he said he was hiding behind a body. A lot of the people that I met outside said they were hiding behind bodies and underneath bodies. Somebody died right in front of me. Just shot all up for no reason. None at all. None at all. It's not right.
Demetrice, I don't think I have anything else. You've told the story with such incredible power. Is there anything else that you remember from the moment of the shooting, from the scene, someone that you saw, something that was said?
Everyone who I came in contact with, never seen him actually. Mm-hmm. Never seen what he looked like, because like I said, Scott, that it was the club. People were salsa dancing and having a good time. And I can only imagine how they, on their end, if I was in that room, to look on and being there and being a witness on that end, probably was really worse than what I seen. You know what I'm saying? I only heard it.
Did I understand you to say that at a certain point you thought he was on the patio shooting?
He was on the patio.
Outside? Outside,
because the hallway that I was in is connected to the patio, but there's a door right there. So from the gunshots coming around the corner in the patio coming around to the other side, you could hear the gunshots getting closer and closer and closer. Instead of it feeling like I'm running away from it, it's getting closer to me. And when the people in the hallway heard the gunshots, it got quiet again, because people didn't know if he was going to come through the door and shoot everyone in the hallway.
Did you see the police come in?
When I left out, the police, it was like 8 or 9 police is already on scene. But he was already on the patio when they were pulling up, and they didn't open fire back because they thought he was shooting at them, but really he was shooting people. And I remember when I got outside and I was running to try to find my friends, I could see the patio door being pushed on, and you could still hear rings of fire, like people were still trying to get out, even though he was shooting.
The door was locked?
It was locked, but you could still see it.
You could see the door being pushed?
Yeah.
By presumably people who were trying to get away?
Yeah.
Demetrice, thank you.
Thank you.
It's important, really important, that the country hears these stories. But we can't tell these stories unless folks like you tell them for us. And you were just so eloquent about this being a crime against humanity. I'm going to be sure that everybody hears that.
Thank you.
Thank you.